Welcome back to Well this morning, ladies and gentlemen, on a very happening day over here in the studios with the very happening Shazad Khan and Shaza Hashmi. So, what do we have for this segment?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before moving on to this segment, I would actually want to shed light on what we were talking about, why we were gone for a short break. But okay, I think I'm going to leave it out. But before going towards the break, I said, ladies and gentlemen, that the kind of personality we're going to share with you, I think, are the people who will definitely change the very dimension of how people look, or change the perspective of Islamophobia and bring it to Islamophilia as well, because we really need examples, we really need people who have that ability to kind of inspire and then make sure to give them that feeling that people take aspiration from them as well for whatever goals they have set in their life. So we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by Akido over here, who's 13 years old. She happens to be an entrepreneur. She happens to be a theatre actress. She happens to be doing so much that I never figured out that I could have been doing when I was 13 years old. Yeah, at 13 I was still figuring out whether 2 plus 2 is 4 or 5, you know. That's the, but yeah, I think with changing times, we do have changing minds as well. So ladies and gentlemen, here we have a changing mind who's going to change our perspective of life as well. She is none other than Miss Raheen Fatima. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam. Good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Thank you very much for joining us, and your energy is contagious too as well. You know, this is the second or third time that I have somebody over here in the studio who has got the same energy levels as Shiza, me, and yes, obviously you've got it. So yeah, the one thing I missed out was she happens to be a stand-up comedian too as well.
Oh yeah.
So 13 years of age, too young to actually decide whether this is what I want to do or not, and still figuring out and still have so many hats to wear. One day you wake up, you're a stand-up comedian. One day you're an entrepreneur. One day you're a student. One day you're a daughter. You're doing so many things. How did you figure it out?
When did it all start?
So it all started with stand-up comedy, and basically I wanted to do something different. And then because when my brother got diagnosed with blood cancer, and he was like really, really sick, and you know, the doctors were, we all were told that it's really serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought life is too short. He was like 3 years old. So I was like, you are never too young or too old to die.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's do it now. And I always wanted to do something different. And that was what my father always taught me, do something different. And then I got exposed to all different sorts of fields like robotics, painting, also entrepreneurship boot camp, which I kind of like picked up.
Okay, that's
And I started out because I couldn't perform at my school. So we went out to an open mic and we started performing.
Wow.
And that's how I got picked up by Fahim Azam in his comedy group.
Yeah.
And I now have my own shows. It's really
just
fun.
a few days ago,
really
ladies and gentlemen, I was with Mr. Fahim Azam as well. He's in Islamabad right now. We were on a private TV channel giving an interview where the conversation was kind of PG-18. But yes, other than that, I think that he's one of those people who's really contributed to the comedy circle over in Pakistan. And there's one thing which I would love to say, even before, kind of knowing the kind of talent you possess, that comedy, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be one of the most difficult things ever. You can act, you can dance, you can do whatever, but your comic timing really needs to be on time as well.
Exactly. I mean, imagine.
I cannot crack a joke. This is one thing for sure. Probably in English, but in Urdu, I'm very bad.
You know what? Even if I do know some jokes, Shazad, I just feel like I won't be the same frequency with the audience.
No, Pakistanis have a very different habit because they have very different jokes where they're going to laugh. They are not actually going to laugh over or something very.
Over the ones
subtle.
That we might crack.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. So, Raheen, did it ever happen? First of all, kudos to your courage that you were going through something so, I'm going to say, I'm sorry to use the word, but shattering, right? At such a young age as well, but you made something so good out of it. So, kudos to your courage as well. Now, did you ever have to face an audience as a comedian where, you had the perfect timing, you had the perfect joke, and the audience would be just staring at your face?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm sure.
We need that.
Yes.
Our audience needs that as well.
Did it ever happen?
Every audience is a bit different. And a good audience is something that you would need. I mean,
of course.
You can be very funny, but the audience, has that for you.
Let us know with an example. Did it ever happen?
So, I was performing, and I think it was my third performance, and, I wouldn't say it was a bad crowd, but the crowd was like...
dull.
Yes, I would say so. And I was performing, and I thought it was a very funny joke. I mean, everybody was laughing in my house or the friends that I performed.
Right.
But they were like, okay.
Silence?
And we're actually going to give you that opportunity to make sure that you actually kind of share or spread the smile with our viewers as well. But let me be very honest over here, ladies and gentlemen, that when we talk about comedy, I think Kevin Hart is one of those people who's very close to my heart as well. But if we come down to Pakistan, I think Moin Akhtar Saab did a wonderful job. I think Anwar Maqsood Saab did a wonderful job by hosting that show on a private channel. And not just that, we do have a lot of amazing comedians over here. One of them, Saad, is actually doing a radio show early in the morning as well. So there are a lot of people who've really done a good job. But let's see whether you can do it or not.
Right, but before that, a very small thing to add to it. So now, when the audience is dull and you don't get the right response, you must have that save grace face to put on, right? Because you don't want to look embarrassed as well.
There are things you say when you know that the audience is not responding. There are some core things you say with which you know that people will actually speak or clap or laugh after that.
No, actually, so I am always very proud of what I do. Not like showing off, but like really proud of what I do.
That's nice.
So
you know your craft.
yeah, and if somebody does not respond to my introduction, I would be like, why didn't you clap? And then start clapping.
Call them out. Okay.
Yeah, it's like start clapping.
Okay.
And you know, when I'm like, you did not laugh, you're supposed to laugh here.
All right.
So like they automatically start thinking that was a joke and they start laughing.
Okay, that's fun.
So yeah. Do you
Take
have a
the
joke
stage.
for all our viewers?
Yeah, so
Now we know that you do it in 3 languages, right?
Yeah,
That's
3
Urdu,
languages.
Punjabi and English. And well, we understand all of them and I'm pretty sure most of
Aren't
our
you,
audience
aren't
does as
you?
well.
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਜ਼ਬਾਨ ਚ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਕੋਈ ਮਸਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ
you're so good at that.
ਯਾਰ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਆਓ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੀਏ
Okay, let's do it.
So I love family vacations, but my family is not quite supportive of the family vacations. For the last 13 years of my life, we have been vacationing in the house of my pupos, khalas, mamus and chachus.
Right.
So last year I asked my mom about the vacation and she said, "ऐस साल तो साहब बराबर होएगा." मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आई थी ऐसे.
Okay.
And she was like, पिछले साल तेरी फुफी अपने फीने बच्चियां दी फौज लेके पूरे 2 हफ्ते तक मेरे सिर ते सवार रही थी. ऐस साल मेरी वारी जे. तो याद रखी मैंने उधर जांदा ही माइग्रेन दा दर्द शुरू हो जाएगा तो मैं किचन च कोई नहीं जा सकती. मैंने कहा मामा आपको तो जोड़ों को दर्द नहीं था? उनका नहीं पुत्र अल्लाह ना करे. मैंने कहा मेरा मतलब वो आपको तो खाड़ी के जोड़ों का दर्द नहीं था जो पिछले साल आपने मेरी फूफी को दिए थे और इस साल आप वसूल करने का सोच रही हैं. मैंने कहा आहो मेरी सियानी थी चल छेती पैकिंग कर. मैंने दोबारा वही सवाल पूछा मामा आपको सब कुछ करना चीप नहीं लग रहा? मैंने कहा पुत्र चीप लगता नहीं पैंदा है 2000 का पेट्रोल पवाओ तो 2 हफ्ते याशी करो.
Aye, क्या बात है, wonderful
And so
that was.
relevant to the Pakistani community as well. On a lighter note, though,
But
it
you know,
does
the best
happen.
part is that she was happy that, you know, even her mother called her Peena.
Her popo ke bache, not herself though.
And yeah, I think I'm going to add to it because, you know, she actually talked about vacations as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, every now and then, you know, this year around, I actually wanted to go to Europe, but unfortunately, I couldn't because of COVID. And for all the other years, I didn't have the money.
No, but here's the thing. Do you guys agree though? And I think because of your joke, because it was sort of a microcosm of our community as well.
Yeah.
We never had, although I was belonging to the military background, we never
And she
had
kind of
like a
protects it
proper
too.
vacation, right? I mean, it was either us siblings or either us sisters.
Going to another mess.
No, yeah. mess.
Another destination, but a mess.
Yeah, but you know, it's sort of boring. I'll tell you what, the family all together would never go to a place. Like, it would either be my sisters rebelling that, okay, if you guys are not going, we are going, right? But why not?
Because
so?
I am also from a military background. My dad's in the Air Force, so it's all too relatable. Way too relatable. Because like we go for excursions, but never like a family vacation in a sort.
Absolutely.
But when we
Somewhere
go there,
in
of course, we go to our Popo's house, Mamu's house, or
But I think
Paya's house.
that's most fun as well. And you know, eventually when you're going to grow up, you know, you will be an independent soul, which you are even today. I think that you will have the liberty to go anywhere in the world, and your parents are not going to say anything to you. For this time you're spending with your cousins, mamus, uncles, and families. These are the people who are actually going to look after you for the rest of your life.
And you'll cherish this
Yeah,
time.
so we'll
absolutely.
cherish that. But yeah, very quick question that, you know, I know you
have a question? Okay.
I have a question too as well. That, you know, at a very such young age, at a very tender age, you're actually an entrepreneur as well. And you keep on doing some small businesses, which obviously leads you toward getting into cottage industry of Pakistan and then being an independent person yourself. What are you focusing on and what kind of businesses have you involved yourself in?
So I started business when I was around 11.
Wow.
So it's been 2 years already.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest ever to be incubated at the National Incubation Center.
Wow.
So it's like something really big and something
yes,
that's really close
What
to my
was the
heart.
idea?
So the idea was basically connecting people and also having more accessible, appropriate and meaningful entertainment for kids.
Okay.
And that was the idea, basically people coming there, and also like, because kids are like, I want to be like that person, so they can meet that person. That's more
idealizing.
Yes, idealizing, and they could meet that person and be like that person.
Okay.
So now at that time, the idea did not get into the cohort originally. But now I feel like I'm starting to make that happen anyway, because I have a good following on my Facebook page. That's Raheen Fatma as well.
Right.
Yes.
And there I am now producing panels for all kids panels with internationalchildren.world, Heidi Little. And we are basically just producing panels talking about love, care and respect of children on earth. And it's also beautiful.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant to just listen to it as well. But Raheen, if I were to ask you that now, mashallah, you're 13, but when you grow up, you have to sort of narrow down things on what you're going to focus on. So if you were to pick one of the things that you're doing right, or one of the feathers in your hat, which one would it be?
But you know what? I think that women can multitask. I think that women can multitask, and that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but so let me rephrase it. Which one is the closest to your heart?
Now, it's like, literally like me and Shahzad were actually talking about this, that, it's like asking a mother to pick one child.
Aww.
I mean, you always have a favorite in your heart, but you can't just pick it out.
So you have a favorite.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Probably entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
And then you obviously can be a happy soul by sharing or cracking jokes whenever you get a chance. And if you're an entrepreneur, imagine a boss who actually comes in the room and every now and then cracks a joke. I think
it would be so much fun.
Yeah, that'll be good, and everybody needs to do that. People over here, once they know that now they are the boss, they just get bossy. People, if you've gotten that opportunity to lead from the front, please make sure that you kind of enjoy with the team as well. And I think that we're very lucky in terms that Masood Beg Saab actually does that as well. He kind of looks after everybody, spreads the smile, and shares it with everybody.
Well.
And it comes down to our producer as well and our researcher, whom we see very often. Ladies and gentlemen.
You mean seldom.
Yeah, but very quickly, what is the one thing which you would love to say to the future generations, or the generation you belong to?
I would want to say one thing, that the true thing that we are born to is basically to realize our true potential.
Yes.
And we need to do that. There is no age for that. You can do it at 40, but it's better when you do it at 14. So, realize your true potential and explore everything.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being the beacon of light and energy early in the morning for us.
Yeah.
Good luck for all your future endeavors as well.
Exactly.
This was very inspiring for us.